Hey guys, welcome to my legal classes. This is Ganesh Pujari and I am starting a new series in administrative law on public corporations. Now, this is a very important question and there can be three or four different way of questions can come on this particular topic. So what I have made is I have made three different concepts under this particular topic. So these three videos will help you to understand the public corporation concept completely. In the first video, I will cover the background, meaning, characteristics, advantages, limitations, and classifications of public corporations. In the second video, I will cover all the rights, duties, powers, and liabilities of public corporation. And in the last video, I will cover judiciary, parliamentary, and other controls over public corporation. That way, we can comprehensively study this particular topic. With that little introduction, I am getting into the first slide of this particular aspect. It is very interesting to know how exactly the public corporation concept has evolved. Earlier, kings used to rule in India, and all the expectation for people from king was to get safety and security. But over a period of time, British came to India and they were the sovereign, and while they were ruling, their focus was entirely on trading. They came to trade in India, so that way state has started participating in trading. And then we got independence, and in the year 1950 we got our constitution also. There we got two important concepts to understand. One, the state was converting from police state to welfare state. The entire world was moving towards that. That means from safety and security to welfare, that is laissez-faire and other concepts started coming into the society. So people's focus was not just getting safety and security but also getting welfare facility from the state. Along with that, state had to ensure that there is no monopoly over any particular natural resource or other aspect from any private individuals. So state has to ensure that also. And we got Article 298 under Indian Constitution, which allowed the state to do trade and business also. And in DPSP, we have specifically mentioned two important aspects where we have mentioned ownership and control of material resources of the community are distributed to subserve the common good, and the second one, the operation of the economic system shall not result in the concentration of wealth and means of production to the common detriment. So these are the two important things were spelled out in DPSP also. That way the public corporations got a lot of importance, and it all started from 1950. We got our first public sector organization in the year 1953, which was Air Transport of India. Then 1956 we got Life Insurance Corporation of India. 1969 we got 14 banks nationalized, and then we got 1972 General Insurance, and 1973 we got coal mines which were nationalized. So this is the background that you can mention in your answer when it comes to public corporations. Now let us try understand the meaning of public corporation. Public corporation is continuity of corporation, so it is very important for us to understand the meaning of corporation first and then move to public corporation. The corporation is a legal body or artificial person which is created by individuals but which is separate from individuals. How? It is having continuous existence or perpetual succession. It can possess property, enjoy property, hold property, or convey property, and it can enter into contracts, and it can sue or can be sued. This is all about corporations. What is public corporation? Whatever such corporation which is made by parliament or state legislature with enactment of special act, those are considered as public corporation. Because they are passed through special act, they are also known as statutory corporation. Now, a public corporation can be defined as a corporate body specially created by a legislative enactment with clearly defined powers and functions, and they enjoy considerable financial and administrative autonomous. That is one other aspect you need to remember. There are two important types of corporation you can think of. The first one being government departments, second one being government companies registered under Companies Act. Now, government departments are the part of government which are post department or telegraph department, shipping department, etc. Whereas government companies registered under Companies Act, they will have more than 51% of capital with them. That means either center or state government will have more than 51% of capital held with them. And the example for government companies are like BHEL, BEL, HAL, General Insurance Corporation, etc. This is one very important slide when it comes to public corporation, because you can get a question asking define public corporations and explain the features and characteristics or feature or characteristics of public corporation. Now you have to write minimum 10 of such features or characteristics. So I have brought 15. You can choose any 10 among them. Now the first feature is it is a special statute which brings a public corporation which will define the powers, objective, functions, relations with ministry and parliament of that particular public corporation. So each public corporation will have a independent statutes. That's one very important aspect. Second one, it is owned either by central government or state government. Third one, it is a separate legal entity which has perpetual succession, which has common seal. It can be sued and it can sue. It can own property, enjoy property or convey property. All such aspect is available, and it can make contract also. And the capital is provided by government. Mostly more than 51% of the capital is provided by government. It has its own budget. That way it has financial autonomy. And the management by board of directors, though they are appointed or nominated by the government, they are not controlled by the government. That is one important feature that you need to remember. They will have their own staff who are appointed by them. Remuneration are fixed by the corporation. Service conditions are fixed by the corporations. And remember, they are not civil servants. That is one important aspect you need to remember. They will have service motive most of the time. That is one other aspect, but they will definitely have attempt to have reasonable profit and try to conduct their business from their own income. That is the eighth feature. And they are public accountability, annual report to be submitted and audited by Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Then they are separate property. They can have separate property and funds. They will have separate property and funds. They are also autonomous bodies. They are parliament. There are parliamentary and judiciary control available over them. And if statute allow, they can make their own rules and regulations. That is another important feature. If statute allow, they can make their own rules and regulations. And they are considered as state within the meaning of Article 12 of Indian Constitution. That is one other very important aspect when it comes to fundamental rights, which starts from Article 12. The definition of state covers public corporations also, for which I am going to give case law in one of these videos. Let me see where exactly they come into. And they are subject to the writ jurisdiction of High Court and Supreme Court. That is another aspect. So basically under fundamental rights. And then Article 299 requirement are not applicable for these public corporations which are dealing with the contract with the state. So that is another important feature. So with that, I'm moving to next slide. The next important aspect is advantages and limitations of public corporations, which are derived from my previous slide itself. The advantages are they will have board management because they have operation autonomy. So that brings board management. Second one, though they are having board management due to autonomic operations, they are having controls from legislative and judiciary. So they cannot do whatever they want to do. That is the control they are having. Third one, they will have qualitative staff because they are recruiting for their purpose. So they will definitely have qualitative staff, and they are the outcome of good statute, and they will have continuity. Whatever changes happens in political scenario, that will not affect on these public corporations because they are independent from politics. So that is one other advantage. And there is less chance of exploitation, and they will have reasonable pricing of their product because their motto is social service. They are the advantages, whereas they have few limitations also. First one being interface. There is theoretical autonomy and flexibility. Definitely government will always try to interfere. That is one other aspect we need to remember. And there will be misuse of monopoly power or negligence. Like for example, we keep hearing on BSNL and other stuff. So that is due to negligence, you can refer. The third one, they will have rigid constitution. Fourth one, low managerial efficiency. They are not like private companies where you will have a lot of competitions on promotion and other stuff. So the managerial capacity is not that very good when it comes to public corporations. Then the problem of passing a special act is always there. For every such public corporation, there will be a special act which need to be passed. So that is another disadvantage. And clash of divergent interest will also be there. These are the important limitations. The next important aspect is classifications or types of public corporation. This can be an independent question for short answer also, and this is one of the most important concept as far as public corporation is concerned, and one of the easiest because once you remember the name, you can elaborate them very easily in the exam hall. They are commercial corporations, developmental corporations, social service corporations, and financial corporations. These are the four corporations you need to remember. Commercial corporations, as the name itself is suggesting, they are commercial. Their aim is to gain profit and they are financially self-sufficient. And few of the important example for such corporations are Indian Airlines or Air India International or Hindustan Machine Tools, which is HMT. The second one is developmental corporation. As the name itself suggests, it is for development of the country where the budget may be taken by the state or the central. The support is always required from the state or the central, but over a period of time they gain capacity to manage themselves or may give little profit to the state or central also. And few examples are like ONGC, which is Oil and Natural Gas Commission, or Food Corporation of India, etc. The third category is social service corporation. Now, social service is all about giving service. They are not bothered about gaining any profit and they are mostly funded by the government. That is about social service corporations, and one of the best example for such is Employee State Insurance Corporation, which is ESIC, housing boards, hospitals, etc. The fourth aspect is, or classification is, financial corporations. They are basically advancing loans to institutions to carry trade, business, industry, etc. And for that, the examples are Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, Life Insurance Corporation of India, etc. These are the four major classifications or types of public corporations. With that, I am concluding this particular video. In my next video, we are going to discuss the rights, duties, powers, and liabilities of public corporation. Please subscribe my channel. Please like, share, and comment my videos. All the very best for your exams, and thank you so much for watching me.